What's up, guys? Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Wednesday, August the 17th. I've been on the water quite a bit. I think I missed one day last week. Had a few days on Taney, a few days on Table Rock. Things are definitely changing. Fish are starting to move up a little bit, it seems. As far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 913.11, so basically 4 feet low. Beavers below pool, Bull Shoals is only about 3 feet high, so hopefully the Corps will slow this water down a little bit, especially if the cooling trend continues and they don't have to generate as much electricity. Water temp, we're mid-80s, 85, 86 is what I saw yesterday. This cooler weather today is probably going to make that surface temperature even lower, so hopefully that's a trend that is going to happen. Best way to stay on top of it, best way to know before you go how you're going to catch fish is to join Table Rock Fishing Intel and become a pro member. Get those daily reports, weekly reports, all that information that we put out every day to help you catch more fish on Table Rock Lake. So check out TableRockFishingIntel.com. If you're coming down, gonna fish the lower end of the lake, I can tell you the lower end continues to be tough. Basically two things that I'm doing. I'm actually heading to the lower end as soon as we get done with this. Got a little bit later trip this morning. If you're gonna fish on the main lake, you're gonna want a drop shot. That's kind of been the best bite. I'm hoping this rain and cloud cover might move some fish a little bit shallower. We might be able to catch them on a swim bait or a jig or a shaky head. But my gut feeling is we're gonna be drop shotting. Best bite drop shotting down there has been on out on gravel, 20 to about 30 feet deep, using a shad-shaped cut tail UV drop shot worm. That has been the most consistent bite on the lower end. The other option, if you run up in the Long Creek, up into Arkansas, targeting some shallower fish, throwing a big worm, a peewee football jig, a heavy cover football jig, or even a shaky head on gravel flats, gravel points, main lake stuff around brush piles. There have been quite a few fish coming out of there. And it's definitely a lot more fun than moving around on a gravel point looking for little groups of fish with a drop shot rig. So those are basically your two best options down by the dam. Go to Kimberling City, the bite gets much better. You've definitely got a drop shot bite going. You can catch them on gravel out 20 to 30 foot deep. You can catch them out of trees 25 to 30 feet deep. You can catch them off the ends of docks on the cables 20 to 30 feet deep. Just kind of got to look for the shad, look for the fish, use a shad-shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm, any of those around those locations, you'll catch fish doing that. The dragging bite or the big worm bite has definitely been better in the mid-lake area. Throwing a big worm, throwing a peewee football jig, throwing a heavy cover football jig, throwing a shaky head. Look for those fish to be on gravel, around brush piles or in brush piles, anywhere from about 15 to about 25 foot deep. Catching a lot of fish doing that. And then there is a topwater bite that's starting to rear its ugly head. We're starting to catch them on a whopper plopper and a buzz bait, mostly on steeper banks, right up against the bank. Basically, you're gonna parallel. You're gonna get your boat up tight to the bank, and you're gonna parallel those steeper banks. It's a little early for that bite. It'll only get better, but we are starting to see fish show up on a plopper and on a buzz bait on those steeper banks in the Kimberling City area. Go up the James. If I was going up the James right now, I would have basically 3 rods. I would have a big worm, I would have a heavy cover football jig, and I would have either a plopper or a buzz bait tied on. Early, late, and if you can find shade, the plopper and buzz bait bite on steeper banks, chunk rock, ledge rock type of banks and points has been really good. Again, you want to parallel. These fish are going to be right up against the bank. They're feeding on bluegill. That's going to be my primary go-to first thing in the morning. Once the sun gets up, I'm going to move out on gravel points and I'm going to fish around brush piles with either a 10 or a 12-inch worm, Texas rigged, or I'm going to throw a heavy cover football jig around those and just soak that thing inside those brush piles. Work those brush piles over. There's been a lot of fish and a lot of quality fish coming out of brush piles in the past week or so. Basically, that's what I would do if I was going up the James right now. White River, spent a lot of time up the White River this past week. If you want to catch numbers, you want to drop shot. If you want to just go out and catch a bunch of spots, the occasional largemouth or smallmouth, get out there and drop shot either gravel points, 20 to 25 foot deep, hit the treetops. Trees that top out around 30, the fish are going to be 20 to 25. Some will be nestled down in the tree, but you can certainly catch them there. Or go hit the dock cables on the ends of the bigger docks, 20 to 30 feet deep. A lot of those fish are coming on a shad shape, a cut tail, or a UV drop shot worm. Those are basically the three I'm doing there. The gravel bite has been good up there as well, throwing either a big worm, a peewee football jig, a heavy cover football jig, or a shaky head. Again, use your targeting sonar, find those fish, find those groups of fish on those gravel points, anywhere from about 18 to about 25 foot deep on the main lake. If you go into a river, like go up into the Kings, or go into a bigger creek like Rock Creek or something like that, those fish tend to be a little bit shallower because you've got a little bit more color in that water. So they'll be 15 to 25, 15 to 20 foot. But use your targeting sonar to either find brush or find the groups of fish working the way out there, because you can certainly catch some doing that. And then again, that plopper and buzzbait bite. It's a little bit early, but with this weather, with it cooling down, those fish are really going to start moving up, and you're not going to get a ton of bites doing this. It's going to be the type of deal where you go out, you do this first thing in the morning, you get 2 or 3 quality bites. If you can find some shade or follow some shade on like some bluff end type points or some steeper points or steeper banks, you can continue to do it, maybe pick up 2 or 3 throughout the day till the sun gets up on them. But I would definitely have a plopper or a buzzbait tied on and parallel those banks this week and this weekend if you're fishing. Guys, we are 2 weeks away from Labor Day when we get our lake back, which will be awesome. The traffic's not been horrible. It's just the weekends have been pretty bad. And normal during the week, it's not been too bad, but can't wait to get the lake back. Water temperature's going in the right direction. Weather's going in the right direction. Really feel like everything's going in the right direction. You know, first week of September, these fish are going to be eaten, and it's going to be a blast. But best way to know, best way to track that, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, become a pro member, and get all those reports and all that information that we put out daily to help you catch more fish on Table Rock. If you're coming down though, want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743, or hit my website, focusfishing.com, and you can either shoot me an email or book online. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching the videos. Again, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so, but thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.